I'm back. That's right. Welcome back to my late night spook show here on the Horror and Metal channel. I'm Hellhound, and we're going to do yet another tag video. Back to back tag videos. I like it. I like it a lot. This is Sean Ershen's Revenge of the Horror Sequel tag. Yeah, Sean Erschen created this tag and he tagged me, so let's go and get started. Alright, question number one is, what is your favorite underrated horror sequel? I'd say Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. And I think most people hate that movie just because Jason's not the killer, which that is a drag for sure. That is a huge bummer. But I think it's really good other than that. I think it's one of the most entertaining entries in the franchise. It has some of the best kills. It has some of my favorite moments, some of my favorite characters for sure. I love Friday the 13th Part 5. I always have. But yeah, I think it's very underrated, and it's probably my favorite underrated horror sequel for sure. Question number two, what is your favorite slasher sequel? I agree with Sean Erschen. It's got to be Halloween 2, absolutely. That movie blew me away when I first saw it, and it still does to this day. I love Halloween 2. It's just awesome. The original Halloween 2, that is. Question number three, name a horror sequel that you enjoy that everybody else seems to hate. I'm going to go with Friday the 13th Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Yeah, another Friday the 13th answer. Yeah, I'll never understand the hate that movie gets. People just hate it because not enough time takes place in Manhattan and most of the time takes place on the boat. Which, yeah, that does suck, but I think it's still a good movie and another one of the most entertaining films in the franchise. It's so 80s. It's so deliciously 80s. I just love it. And that's some of my favorite moments in the series as well. All about when Jason's walking and kicks the boombox and the punks are like, "You're dead meat, slime ball," and he just lifts up his mask and like, "Oh, it's cool, man, it's cool," and then they run off. I love that part. There's so many great moments like that. So yeah, I'll never understand the hate that that movie gets. All right, question number four. Do you have a horror sequel that you enjoy that is a sequel in name only? Let's go with Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. That movie has nothing to do with the original whatsoever. And I really like it, so let's go with that. All right, question number five. What is your favorite part 2 in a horror franchise? Evil Dead 2, definitely. Absolutely, Evil Dead 2. Question number six. What is your favorite part 3 in a horror franchise? I agree with Sean Erschen. It's got to be Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Love that movie. Absolutely. Question number seven. Is there a horror sequel that you enjoy more than the original? I guess I won't use Evil Dead 2 yet again. Let's go with Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah, I think that one's better than the original. I love it. That's actually my favorite out of all the Universal monster movies. Always has been. It was one of the first horror movies I ever saw, and I was immediately hooked on the genre. And I still really, really enjoy it to this day. And like I said, I do think it's a little better than the original, though it's very close. Question number eight. What is the worst horror sequel of all time? Well, if you've been watching my channel, you know I'm definitely going to go with Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. I loathe that movie. I despise it. I hated it when I first saw it. I still hate it to this day. It gets worse every time I watch it, which isn't very often, mind you. I just absolutely hate that movie so bad. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But there's a lot of bad ones. Like Sean Erschen said, all the Howling, that's Howling, not Halloween. The Howling with a werewolf, all those sequels are terrible. The original's a masterpiece. The sequels are garbage. There's also Creepshow 3, Freddy's Dead. There's a lot of bad sequels. But I'll go with Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation as my least favorite. For sure. All right, question number 9. What is your favorite horror prequel? Let's go with Puppet Master 3, Toulon's Revenge. I really like that movie, and it's one of my favorites in the franchise, if not my absolute favorite. I don't know, it's close between that and Puppet Master 2. I like them both a lot. But yeah, as far as horror prequels go, I'll go with Puppet Master 3. It's a good movie. Question number 10. Is there a horror sequel you feel had all the ingredients to make a good follow-up to the original, but failed miserably? I agree with Sean Erschen. It's got to be Exorcist 2, The Heretic. That held all the right ingredients. Had a great cast, a Linda Blair returning. It could have been really, really good, but it's just awful. Just terrible movie. I would not recommend it at all. I don't know what happened there, but that movie's just just awful. I think I've only been able to sit through the whole thing maybe once, and I struggled. The original is so classic. The original is an amazing movie. I don't know why the sequel is so terrible, but it is. Even though it had all the right ingredients, could have been good, but it's not. All right, question number 11. Name a horror sequel you feel that completely derailed the franchise and ruined it for you. I agree with Sean Erschen once again. It's got to be Halloween Resurrection. Yeah, H2O was a perfect ending for the series, but then Resurrection comes along, just stinks up the place. That's why they had to remake it. Yeah, Resurrection is just terrible, and is definitely my answer for that. All right, question number 12. Name a sequel that is the best made and most faithful follow-up to the original, but may not necessarily be your favorite. For me, that's going to be Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I think it's very, very well made. You know, it takes a very interesting approach to the series. It's a great movie, actually, but it's just not my favorite. You know, I always found it a little bit overrated. You know, please don't come after me for saying that, but I just always kind of thought so. But I do like it. I do think it's a great movie, like I said. I just don't like it quite as much as everybody else does. But it's one of the best. It's one of the better entries in the franchise for sure. But I don't like it nearly as much as Part 1 and Part 3. All right, question number 13. What is your favorite overall horror sequel of all time? Gotta be Evil Dead 2, for sure. Love it. I love Bruce Campbell as Ash, my favorite horror protagonist ever. It's just an awesome, awesome movie. All right, guys, well, that's it. That was Sean Erschen's Revenge of the Horror Sequel tag. Check out his original video on the Horror Corner. Feel free to make a response or leave your answers in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching my late night spook show on the Horror and Metal channel. I'm Hellhound. Until next time, happy Halloween.